I have one other, before he talks and finishes up for us, I do have one other special announcement. We are naming our 5-star Experience Award, the Jonathan Eldridge Experience Award.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. That's nice. Thank you. Okay, I get to close this out, and I'm between you and a bar, so I'll try to keep this as non-emotional as possible. Ryan is right. He came to me. We went to lunch this summer. We sat down and we had a very emotional talk. Ryan has asked me whether I came down and met with him in 2002. I needed this job, and he needed to expand. And when he wanted me to go to Philly, and I first said no, but he said he needed me to go, and it was like an honor to be told you're needed for something. And so when we sat down at lunch, and he grabbed my arm, and he ordered an iced tea. It was a serious lunch. He said he needed me to do this, and it just snapped with me. And I've only really believed or followed one person in my career, and that's been Ryan. And so just as he said, I had to think about it a little bit, because this is I have my family, which I'll talk about in a second, but this has been my work for a while. And so it was an emotional decision. For anybody that doesn't know me, I have turned into a pretty laser-focused family man. My wife, Danielle, my oldest, Tristan, who's 14, and Logan. I started dating Danielle about 2 months before I started working here. And believe it or not, she's stuck with me this whole time. And it has not been easy. None of it was easy. And she would say the same. But my kids, again, to be able to coach them, to be able to be a part of their life, I've told this to the executive team, that is really important to me. And I've really turned my focus towards that and towards my family. And I actually put a couple clips in here because I like to brag about my kids. So I think I got one of Tristan in here, and he has a goal, he has a dream. He wants to play collegiate baseball, and I believe he can, and this is a pretty good curveball from him. I like that. I give a little applause there. My other son, Logan, Strozzo, like this. We don't live in Pittsburgh, but he was playing flag football, and look at that intensity. I mean, honestly, everything in my life is about what my family has given to me, and not necessarily what I've been able to do for them. So I thank my family who's not here. They're not here because Tristan has finals this week, and he needs Danielle to help him get through these finals. And I need Danielle to help him get through these finals. So we're all going to hope he does well on his finals. Thank you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about past speeches, because I do believe that they're relevant to what we're still doing today. All right. So there was How to Build Your Brand, and that was in 2012, I think. It was shortly after my tenure, because at my tenure, those of you that weren't here, a lot of you, was at a White Castle. Ryan rented out a White Castle for my tenure, literally for 2 or 3 hours, and it was a party at a White Castle. Unbeknownst to him, I don't really eat a lot of White Castle. I'd be more of a McDonald's guy. So at the next speech, when I was given How to Build Your Brand, I had the manager of a White Castle actually bring in a crave case to Ryan in mid-speech. I don't think he liked it very much, but that crave case got ate. So, one thing Ryan didn't mention about, I had to get this out while I'm up here, but I didn't go to Philly until after we got over Indy. That was just really important. Did I say that? I wanted to make sure that Sprague got over Indy, and then I went to Philly. He can't say anything because he doesn't have a mic. But the next speech I gave was about head and heart, right? The it factor. If you have your head and your heart working together in unison at that moment, is the it factor. No one seems to ever be able to define that or world class, so I did my best at it. So I don't know how many years ago, but I did that, the head and the heart, right? Head and heart together collectively is the it factor. You do that in front of your managers, you will win business. You do that in front of consultants, they'll want to stay with you. You do that in front of your wife, they'll want to marry you, or your husband, he'll want to marry you. That's head and heart is everything. That is the it. So that was one of my speeches. Then I did a speech about finding your why. You better have a path and a journey that you want to take. It better have challenges in front of it, or don't jump on that path. So defining your why. And then I did a speech about world class. What the hell does world class mean? I still don't know if I know what it means, but I think this room defines it. And my final one was about CX and then the CARE initiative. And I've really built this CARE thing out. I'm passionate about it, and you'll hear me talk about it in a second because it's going to be my passion project moving forward. But CARE is everything. Those 12 attributes really define who you are as a person, so I'm going to continue to dive into that. I've given countless breakouts over the years, past 6-7 years. My goal was really to try to make sure that we infused experience into everything that we did, whether it be our internal hiring or what we're doing with our clients, our consultants. You know, we want to make sure that we don't want to be atrophying consultants. We want to keep people working with us. Creating a template for us to work on CARE for the betterment and the enrichment of our personal and our professional lives. That's what this is all about. That's what CARE was made for. I am still working on myself. I've got a lot to work on. And there isn't anybody in this room that doesn't have something to work on, and I'm going to get to that in a second. Okay, so some challenges. Over the last 3.5 years, actually I'll go back. About 4 years ago, I made a choice in my life as a bit of a binge drinker, if you will. It was never one. It was always more than one to have some fun. But I made a choice on my own to quit, to give it up, to live a longer life, to live a better life. And I'm glad that I did that because later that year, my dad died of Lewy body dementia. And it was stage 3 when we caught it. And I wouldn't have made it through it if I was still drinking. And so it was a beautiful decision and a hard challenge to go through after it. I've had 4 total knee replacements over the last 2 years. I've been under anesthesia for 18 hours, which has caused a massive reduction in my hair. That's my excuse. And I've had to learn how to walk 4 times over the last 2 years. And I'm not saying those, by the way, those are my knees. That's what I got to work with now. Whoa! I'm just kidding. And that's my dad. Man, he was awesome. He was terrific. He taught me work ethic. He didn't really make a lot, and I didn't grow up with a lot. But he sure taught me a lot. I wish he was here to see this. So the early days in Detroit, Ryan alluded to it. It was an extremely small office. The first employee didn't make it past a couple months. It was a rough start. But what was really cool was going to Punta Cana on the first trip and winning the Amy Hasbrook Award, being the second winner of it. And really it was voted on by all of Indy because there wasn't a lot of Detroit people. And so winning that award and knowing what I have gone through in the loss of a sibling and what Ryan has gone through, it was a highlight. It still is a highlight. It hangs in my office. It's a plaque I'll never take down. But whatever it took was the mentality that we had. Surpassing Indy was a big deal, and finding Marissa, wherever you're at in the crowd, Marissa May, was a terrific add-on to Detroit. But having fun, I didn't really realize how to have fun until I moved to Philly. But these are some of my pictures. Look at that 8800 spread. I was rocking. I had it rolling the soft ad group, little technical use sign. I mean, that was it. And then I moved out to Philly, and everything changed. With Philly, it became like let's just build a team. So the picture on the left is a picture of Bobby's his promotion party. I was ready to leave Philly. They were ready for me to leave Philly. They were like, "Go, you need to leave." But you actually see a lot of the faces in there. Wolfgang, his dad's in that picture with us. And then this is actually at the White Castle, where I had my 10-year anniversary. Note the facial hair. You can all thank me for that. That was trying to dramatic. Everybody with facial hair, stand up. You can thank me. No, kidding. Don't do that. And then, look I have some videos to show because, listen, if you're not building cultures where you have fun, this industry will eat you up. You've got to have fun. You have to create tradition and stick with it. And I don't know if they were creating tradition here, but Steph White and Rachel Morrison had to figure out who could win a Headbangers Ball. I don't know.
Come on.
I'm not.
Oh, shit.
That's what staffing will do to you. That's what staffing will do to you. Or in Philly, in the old days, if every time we hit another 5K in spread, we'd cut a sleeve off. And so Bobby got really aggressive with his vocals here.
35K. Bobby's taking a sleeve today. Later that day, but actually before he cut the sleeve, he did this dance, and I still don't know what it is. The 300 grand for Bobby. Look at that. All right.
The point to that is, yes, there's more to come. You all know what this is, I think. But the point is, hey, listen, have fun with what you're doing and build traditions because they last. That will not ever be forgotten, and neither will my trip to Minneapolis about 7 years ago when evidently there was a record in their office for who could speed walk the fastest, and there's no one that can walk faster than me. So I decided to take on the challenge, and in doing so, went to urgent care 25 minutes later, and this is what happened. Oh, play. Wrong button. 2, 1, go.
Oh! There it is.
Yeah. So that bang was my hamstring, and Trisha, I had a huge call and I had to do an operational call. Kaza had to handle it for me because Trisha had to take me to urgent care, and you can only imagine the doctor's face when he was like, "What are you doing? What do you do for a living?" And Trisha's like, "You can answer this one. I can't do it. I'm not his wife." And then I got wheeled through the airport, which was, again, hysterical. But again, these are the memories you make. And I'm thinking back on my career. I wanted to share stuff that wouldn't make me cry. I want to thank my 811 family. You guys have been terrific. I mean, HQ1 really came about because I think we needed to be the incubus of the heartbeat of what we do as an organization. So there's something that I've been living by, a motto that I've been living by for a while. And I am so unperfect, but I think it's a model for 811. I want you guys to try to remember this, but it's greatness in a person is not pursuing it. I want you to think about that. I want you to close your eyes, everybody, right now, and think about this when I say it again. Close your eyes, Patrick. Did it. Greatness in a person is not pursuing it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the day. You're going to screw up. You're not going to be perfect. The people that are trying to be great will stand out and look awkward. Greatness in a person is you looking in the mirror and realizing today you might fail, but you'll learn. And it's a day you lived, so you should be happy. You can open your eyes now. Greatness in a person is not pursuing it, and I believe that's what this company really stands for. We're not going to be perfect. But we're going to pursue to have a great day. We're going to pursue to have great memories. But it's not always going to be perfect for us. I need some members of the audience to come up on stage for me real quick. My best decisions I ever made. The people that I hired. I would like to get a picture real quick, Hoff, if you're available. But can Marissa May, Jordan Stroza, Bobby Boucher, Rachel Morrison, and Steph White, and Trent McCloskey please come up on stage? For those of you guys, I have to say this to this group, but I owe my career to you guys. I think what you guys don't realize is when you can be defined by who you hire, not necessarily even what you do. And these people, these individuals have made me a great person. And I am blessed and honored to have been just a small page in your guys' life. So let's get together for a picture, man. I love you guys. Come in here. I love you, buddy. I love you. Thank you, guys. I love you. And there it is. Oh, you can go. Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead, Seth. That was great, Bobby, the praying mantis. All right, some other people I need to make sure that I mention because I'll forget, and I've got a list, so stick with me on this one. Drew Davis, Feel, Felt, Found. Drew, I got to tell you, he came to Philadelphia one time, and he was with Bobby and I, and we were pretty intoxicated, and he tried to take us through the sales acumen of Feel, Felt, Found. I know how you feel. There's a lot of people that have felt that way, and what I have found is, and I'm like, oh my God, but when you try to do that intoxicated, it comes out much more gibberish than that, and it's a great story. If you see him tonight, ask him about it. I'm sure he'll share it. He's become a terrific friend of mine, and I'm going to miss him. And again, when I say miss, let's just be honest here. I'm not going away. I'm not falling off this vine. I'm just going to have a megaphone to talk to you guys. That's just how I look at it. I'll be here as much as I possibly can. I love this company. I'll never work anywhere else. Andy Brueggemann is someone that has been a friend of mine for a very long time. And I want to say thank you for the prayers he always gave me when I was going through my knees and my challenges. He's a terrific person with a great head on his shoulders. Carrie Cooper, I met her a long time ago, and I feel like she's the female version of me. Like I mean that in a good way, Carrie. But she's always been so open and such a good leader. And again, I think that greatness in a person not pursuing it, I can look at her every day and think that. Ryan Bulin and Adarsh Modi, these guys from Meta, the countless conversations we've had, Bulin, the hugs you've given me, I'll buy one tonight. Theo, Joe Hyland, David English, you guys have been awesome. You let me into your life. You let me into your guys' world. All of HQ1 let me in. And I was just some scatterbrained type A personality guy from the field, and I needed a place to go. And you guys gave me a home. And I'll never forget that. And I've built bonds with you guys. And I love you guys. Hoff does a lot here, but I have had so many just great times with him filming. And it's been terrific. Some of my most memorable moments will be with him and just filming these constant videos I've been trying to do to bring energy to the company. Clayton Moore, somebody that sticks out to me because I think that he is really embodies what it looks like to get into an organization and to have that company fall in love with you. And now look at what he's done with Humana. I've always had a great respect for him. Where's Efron? You in here? There he is. He's front row. I just want to say I appreciate you because getting calls when you have knee replacements from somebody like you, you're a very reliable person, and I love you for that. There are so many people I'm going to probably forget, but I want to let you know what's going to happen next for me, right? I'm going to take care on the road. I'm going to, I've created an LLC called Soul Focus. I actually thought about it at Evolve, and it was somebody that was speaking. It was like they were saying something about their soul focus. I'm like, that's the name of my company. So I now own a company called Soul Focus, and it's going to be built around care and really deep diving into sales and self. I think there's a lot of people that have gotten up on this stage and talked about what you're supposed to do going into a meeting, but what's that mental treadmill that you get on before you go on that meeting? Well, that's what I'm going to try to dive and uncover. So I'm pretty excited about that. Some things I want you guys to think about, and you've heard this with the speakers. Brian did a good job today talking about it this morning. Good enough will not cut it. It is a whatever it takes mentality. It has been that way since Ryan and Jeff started in their basement, from the time that we opened up the doors in the first 4 or 5 markets to where you sit right now in your seat, okay? Good enough will not cut it. It has to be a whatever it takes mentality. Whatever it takes must be the way in which you live your life. Whatever it takes to be a good father, whatever it takes to be a good mother, or a good human, a good friend, a good coworker, a good AE, a good leader, a good mentor. It's so important to remember that if you care about people and the interactions you have, it's about how you've made them feel. Will they come back to you and want more? I've actually had a couple of people that say they want to talk to me after I'm not working here. What an honor, what a privilege, right? So care about all the interactions that you're having. Whatever you're doing should be your sole focus, right? So keep that in mind as you continue to expand your careers. Okay, this is going to be the hard one. So the executive team, Ross and Finney and Causa and Dunner, it's been an honor to work with you guys, to watch you guys grow your businesses or analytics. You get up here and you want to manifest everything to be perfect, and you have all these feelings going through your head right now, and I wouldn't be where I'm at without this executive team being with me and holding me up when I needed it. But they're terrific leaders, terrific presidents. You guys should all be proud to work for them, with them. Carly, thank you for being a sister to me. I can't thank you enough for everything that you've always done. It's hard. These two guys, I'll start with Jeff. Jeff is one of the most caring people you're probably ever going to meet, who carries so much load on his shoulders and stress on his shoulders, and he cares so much about everybody in this company. You'd never know it. But at every open house, he was there for me. And every time I needed to have a conversation, it seems like he was just the right person to text me at just the right time. And I always had his support, albeit when I moved to the East Coast, it got to be a lot more expensive support, but I always had Jeff's support because I needed it. I needed to have that from him. And from Ryan, there's only a couple people in my life that transcend that universe of before my brother and after my brother. There's not a lot of people I held on to before my brother and then after my brother. Ryan is one of them. Ryan transcends both parts of my life. I have a pre-Rob and I have a post-Rob, and Ryan was in both of them. And with a funny story I want to share to end this. When I went down to Indianapolis, I hadn't seen him in a few years. I didn't know about Amy. But he had already helped me through Rob. And when he told me to come into his house in Norwaldo, he said, hey, just come on in. There's a key under the carpet. I'll be home in like an hour. Have a couple beers. Wait for me. And he comes walk. I hadn't seen him in like 2 years. He comes walking around the corner. I couldn't wait to see him. I gave him this huge hug. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And then he's like, all right, get in my car. Let's go. We're going to go downtown. We're going to go talk about business. We're going to figure out how to build a business plan for Detroit. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we went downtown Indianapolis, and we hit up bars, and we got going, and it was late, and there was not a bar serving at that point. And he's sitting there, and he's like, Jay, there's just one more thing I got to talk to you about. I'm like, what? He goes, we have something in common. I lost Amy. And if you could just picture Ryan and I 22 and a half years ago, bawling our eyes out, both of us, in downtown Indianapolis, thinking about and talking about starting a business in Detroit, but crying about our siblings. And that's just a core memory of mine that I just will never forget, that I thank you for, Ryan. Greatness in a person is not pursuing it. I love this company. I'm happy I was able to get through it without crying. A couple other people I don't know that I forgot to mention, but I forgot to mention Betsy Wells. When I was going through all my hardships with my dad and with my knees, she was working with me, and she was one of the smartest people in this room, and she was so patient because she is a very go-to-it, get-it-done guy. Like, Johnny, if you're calling me, have a purpose. And I would call her and have no purpose. And she would still just listen, and I can't thank you enough for that, Betsy. Everybody that I've worked with, the whole experience team is a terrific group, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this company. Look me up, give me a call. I'm not going that far. So I love you guys, and thank you.
Hey, Jonathan, hold on.